Thailand is fantastic and I'm sure you know why. It has amazing landscapes, friendly locals and delicious cuisine. This year I made a decision to revisit this beautiful country but with one condition. I would only communicate in Thai. So in this video you will discover the benefits of actually speaking a new language, my learning journey and the surprising fact that Bangkok isn't actually Bangkok. Now, I'm not a linguist, but at first glance, Thai seems pretty confusing. I mean, it has a completely different alphabet with no spaces between words, and that's already a huge difference. However, I found it beautiful and decided to start by tackling reading and writing first. I also realized that I was fooled my whole life, because the word Bangkok isn't actually Thai. The Thai name of the city is Krungthep. Anyways, after just a couple of days of training, I could already put words together. Fun fact, Thai letters can be under, above, before or after the consonant. But it's not the trickiest part. My next step was learning the tones, and I tackled them one at a time. After about a week, I could already read most words correctly, and it felt like a huge accomplishment to me. I wasn't perfect, but I was definitely good enough. As my flight date approached, I filled my head with basic phrases and useful words. Unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to book a lesson with a teacher or find someone online to practice with. But come on, who needs it when you can have an adventure instead? So I decided to book a whole road trip for myself instead of a regular flight. So I went from Lisbon to Faro by bus, took a flight to Düsseldorf, hitchhiked to Berlin, followed by a flight to Singapore and then another one to Laos. When we finally landed, I was exhausted. Here is what my first conversation in Thai actually sounded like.
50 บาท50ไม่ได้ครับไปรถบัส4 ยูโรครับผมไม่เป็นนะพูดนิดหน่อยนิดหนึ่งภาษาลาวไม่เป็น
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. I struggled with the tones and it didn't sound great at all. But my exhaustion actually helped me to fight overthinking. I just went for it. In that moment, I felt grateful for the first couple of weeks of learning back home. I firmly believe that when your goal is to learn the language, it's best not to arrive in the country with zero knowledge. By learning the basics at home, I could already start practicing them the moment I stepped foot in the country, and it felt amazing. I spent just a few days in Laos before heading to Thailand, where I fully immersed myself in the culture. I intentionally avoided the typical tourist route and threw myself into situations where I needed at least decent Thai skills, even though my Thai still kind of sucked.
ไม่สบายเหรอครับครับผมพูดไทยเก่งมากเลยครับอยู่กี่ปีแล้วครับที่ปีทั้งประเทศไทยใช่ไหมครับใช่ไม่ใช่ครับไปเที่ยวที่นี่ที่ประเทศไทย
One of the first challenges was my very limited vocabulary, especially for different situations like going to a restaurant, for example. Ordering food in Thai required looking up new words.
ส่งนะครับ1ที่นี้นะครับอย่า1กระดานครับ
It wasn't ideal when I was hungry, but the actual joy of learning the language outweighed any inconvenience. As you can imagine, I couldn't just go and buy myself a train ticket or go to a pharmacy without having a quick 10-minute learning session beforehand.
สวัสดีครับตัวหนึ่งไปกรุงเทพนะครับไปตัวนี้ครับผมคนเดียวนะครับครับคนเดียวครับขอบคุณครับ
Initially, it was quite exhausting, but in the end, it was very effective. Basically, I used every situation as a learning opportunity. Thai people are kind, but when you speak Thai, they become much more enthusiastic and friendly. I remember going to a family restaurant where I spent an hour cooking and chatting with them in Thai.
คนไทยเก่งมาก
ไม่ค่อยเก่งเท่าไหร่ครับ
อันนี้เลยเก่งเลยเนี่ย
โอเคแล้วถือว่าเก่งแล้วโอเคได้ไหมครับ
ได้เลย
ได้เลย
ได้เลยอร่อย
The experience was fantastic because I asked questions and showed my curiosity about their culture.
น้ำปลาแล้วก็
ซอสถั่วเหลือง
ซอสถั่วเหลือง
ซีอิ๊วขาว
นี่มีอะไรแค่อะไรล่ะ
นี่ถั่ว
ใช่
นี่เต้าหู้ไม่ใช่
เหมือนกัน
I also discovered that menus in Thai and in English can be very different. My ability to read Thai allowed me to try some dishes I didn't even know existed. During the first couple of weeks, my progress actually skyrocketed due to the extensive practice I had. However, trying to fit more learning into my already busy routine caused a lot of stress. I had to balance work, fun activities, and finding time to learn new things. But in the end, it was all worth it. Another challenge was dealing with English-speaking Thais. If you traveled abroad, you know that some people automatically switch to English to make you feel more comfortable.
ตลาดน้ำอยุธยาโอเค
And you is Thai.
Personally, I find this behavior quite demotivating for language learners, and it's not just limited to Thailand, of course. It happens in many places around the world, from, let's say, the Netherlands or Scandinavia all the way to Asia. So I had to face this challenge and respond only in Thai. First, I worked on improving my fluency. My goal was to speak much faster and more clearly. I achieved this by doing a lot of shadowing, repeating phrases out loud to mimic the tone and the rhythm of native speakers.
เป็นคนออสเตรเลียหรือเปล่าเป็นคนแคนาดาอายุเท่าไหร่อายุ33
I may have looked like a crazy person a little bit by talking to myself, but the results were actually amazing. I started thinking and reacting like a Thai, and people noticed my progress.
อ๋อพูดภาษาไทยได้
ได้ครับ
แปลว่า
เห็นนะครับ
อยู่นี่นานแล้วมา
ไม่
เที่ย
ใช่
ว
ครับมาเดี่ยวนะครับผม
แต่เป็นคนไทยป่ะใช่ไหมลูกครึ่ง
ไม่ใช่
แม่พ่อเป็นคนไทย
ไม่ใช่ครับ
ไม่ใช่
ต้องเป็นก่อน
จังเลยฝึกเองเหรอ
ครับ
อุ้ยเก่ง
Most of them thought that I actually lived in Thailand for a few years, and all of them spoke Thai with me. To my surprise, it was happening even in written communication, which was very impressive. During my first visit to Thailand, I didn't enjoy big cities at all. Because I stayed in central tourist areas, I only spoke English, and I had very limited interactions with locals. This time, however, I decided to give Bangkok another chance and explore places tourists don't usually visit. And I'm so glad that I did. It was a life-changing decision, seriously. Bangkok truly is a city of contrast. It has two completely different faces, and you can experience both. You can go to Khao San Road to eat fried insects, but there are so many other places. I can confirm that this time I fell in love with Bangkok, and I didn't want to leave this amazing city. It was a mix of two factors, a different travel approach and my language skills. These two factors intertwined as my ability to speak Thai actually enabled me to go off the beaten path and connect with locals even more.
ตำปลาร้าตำปูตำไทยปูไม่รู้ว่าทำไทยครับผมทำไทยครับเผ็ดไหมเผ็ดนะครับผมได้ครับ
At this point, I was already quite comfortable discussing everyday matters with anybody. Even phone calls, which usually terrify me when learning a language, weren't a problem at all.
คุณอยู่ที่ไหนครับอยู่ที่บ้านอยู่ที่บ้านโอเคผมมาแล้วนะครับ
อ๋อเมื่อคืนใช่ไหมครับโอเคสักครู่ครับ
ไม่เป็นไรครับผม
At this point, I was seriously considering staying in Bangkok for much longer, but my journey wasn't over yet. I was supposed to visit my friends in one of the most touristy places in Asia, Phuket. But remember, I promised to avoid the tourist route, so I did it with a twist. I booked an overnight train ticket to get out of the city.
ตรงเย็นไม่มีเลย
รอบเย็นมีค่ะ
2 ทุ่มครับผม
2 ทุ่มมี
But since there are no trains going to Phuket, I decided to hitchhike the rest of the way. Hitchhiking is a great way to meet locals and to see the country, but on the other hand, I wasn't confident that I can actually keep a conversation going for hours. Nevertheless, I had no other options available rather than just going and trying it out. I got off the train, I walked to the highway, and to my surprise, it worked out very well. All of the drivers were extremely nice, and we had long conversations in 100% Thai.
แล้วก็ค่ารถกี่บาท500 บาทนะครับชั้น 2 ชั้น 3 ชั้น 1 2ครับชั้น 2 ใช่ไหมครับมีแอร์ไหม
When I arrived in Phuket, I stayed with my friends, and they don't speak a word of Thai. And it was the moment where I felt the biggest difference in treatment. It felt like we were living in two completely different worlds. They communicated with locals only about the price or about a certain service, and it was all in broken English.
น้ำม่วงแก้วใช่ไหม
มะม่วงมันยังแก่อยู่ใช่ไหม
ครับเพราะว่าตอนนี้ไม่หวานใช่ไหม
อันนี้หวานแล้ว
หวานครับหวานแล้ว
มันจะสุกแล้วเนี่ย
สุกนะ
And hear me out, I don't blame them. People have completely different goals and levels of comfort, and it's their personal choice after all. Anyways, after my cultural shock in Phuket, I traveled the rest of the south and I didn't see much improvement of my Thai skills. The only downside, apart from actually investing the time to learn the language, was the reaction of other expats for some reason. My Thai is far from being perfect, but I had it on multiple occasions where a foreigner would be unhappy that I spoke Thai instead of English. Also, the amount of people not even trying to learn the language but complaining about it is quite significant. Now to the pros. Speaking Thai helps you to communicate more effectively and understand the culture way better. Surprising, right? Seriously, you will actually see why Thai people are so nice when you hear them speak. Thais aren't very direct, and you can see it in their language. There are subtle little details making it extremely charming and cute. Also, speaking Thai helps you to avoid scams and foreigner pricing as well. Just like any country with a lot of visitors, Thailand has some scams going on. Someone might approach you and say that the place you want to visit is closed today and offer to bring you to a different destination instead. But my Thai skills were good enough to repel all the bad people straight away. They didn't even want to waste their time on me. And the third advantage is the most important one to me. I had a chance to dive deeper into the culture and learned a lot. Most people don't expect you to be able to read Thai, and they're actually quite shocked when you can. Overall, I felt welcomed and it elevated my travel experience. The bar isn't set very high since most visitors don't even learn the basics, but the more you learn, the more respect you receive from people. My Thai isn't perfect and I still have a lot to learn, but even at my current level, it made a huge difference. Now the question is, would you do that yourself? Let me know what you think in the comments below.